your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Wrestling with Friends. And it's Friends because our friend is back, Mr. Jeff Dye. Welcome back, sir. How are you today?
Woo! Feeling good, baby. How you feeling?
I have two questions for you. One, have you thrown out any more pitches since the last time you were on the show?
Interesting thing that happened. I was supposed to have thrown for the Blue Jays and the Phillies, like in the last week. Turns out the guy who books my first pitches is just a terrible guy with a gambling problem who lied to me about booking all this stuff so I'd pay him. Yeah, it's like a wrestling storyline. This guy who goes, I got you here, and then I fly to the place, and then they go, we have no record of you at all. And I go, what do you mean? And then I reach out to this guy, and he's like, I don't know what to tell you. So he stole money from me and screwed me and lied to me, and now he's screwing me. Yeah. Yeah, it's real.
Look, I'm not trying to get on the guy's side,
it's funny.
But that's kind of a good hustle, man. Like, that's like, yo, we don't know. Jeff Dye, we have no record of
the
you
guy's
being
like,
here
we have no idea what, and then I call him and he goes, well, I did everything by phone, so I can't show you the emails. Which, like, in 2024, like, who's doing things purely by phone? I just got hustled hard. He took my money.
Sucks balls. I'm so sorry, dude. That's
embarrassing it is too. Like, I'm on stage in Philadelphia at like a sold out Tuesday show, and so I'm like, hey, and everyone should come to the Phillies game tomorrow. I'm throwing the first pitch, and then some people, so I look like the biggest liar about the whole thing. It was so humiliating, and it happened to me 2 cities in a row in 2 weeks.
No,
I know.
Come see me tomorrow. Throw out and then there was
I don't know.
Dude.
There wasn't a lot, but there was like one girl who like DM'd like a picture of her at the Phillies game, and she had like put it in her story like, "Where you at, Jeff Dye?" Like they bought tickets just because I said that I was going to throw a first pitch in Philadelphia. So it's all good. People do stupid stuff, and I got suckered.
I've been suckered before. I've also not been let in places before that I thought I had an in at. So I know I haven't been hustled like that, but both those things have happened to me separately. So I feel for you. I don't mean to laugh at your pain. I just laugh when I relate.
We gotta laugh at our pain. That's how this works.
Well, I was in a lot of pain after the Bash of Berlin because I lost people a lot of money, Jeff. It was bound to happen. Everybody has a bad week sometimes. I think I needed you here to help balance my brain out a little bit. But I got a lot wrong, and I even heard about it on social media a little bit.
Some people chirp back like, hey, we thought you knew this.
Yeah, so listen, guys. The segment is not over. The segment will never be over. But I do apologize. I'm not always going to be perfect, and maybe I should rate my confidence. I still feel like I would have been confident in those picks. In retrospect, it was so obvious where I was wrong, so I'm hoping I learned from my mistakes. But I will say this. I've had one bad week. Out of all the weeks that we've made predictions, it just happened to be a brutal one. So let's get into it. But good
for wrestling. It was a good. Me and Alex, our producer, were just talking about how like good of a week of wrestling it was. There was some great. Really, really great stuff. So forget your predictions. There was a great wrestling week.
No, it was good wrestling week. It was good PLE. It was good pay-per-views. It was good all the way around, from Bash of Berlin all the way to All Out and everything in between. We record these on Mondays, so I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw. It's getting ready to make the move to Netflix. Friday Night SmackDown's making the move this coming Friday to the USA Network. They need their wrestling. It gets higher ratings than anything else they have on their network.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen when they go to Netflix? Do you think they'll use that to be edgier, or do you think they'll stick to like a PG thing? Do you think we're going to notice any change?
Yeah.
Or are they going to keep it for, teens to how do you think they're going to figure that out?
I think they'll try to serve two masters. I think they'll maintain storylines that are more youth related in the first hour to hour and a half, although they don't consistently do that now. They used to. And then give you a little bit more of what the Attitude Era gave us in the final hour of the show. I still don't think they're going to be doing blood like AEW, but nobody does. But I think the storylines might be a little bit more grown up. I don't think you'll be getting storylines like Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, like that storyline right now. I think they'll be more mature. I think they'll give the women more of a motive than, you know, a 12-year-old girl's motive of like, oh my God, you said this. Oh my God, you said that. I think they'll be, they'll take it a bit more seriously over there. I hope they do. That's the hope. As you could tell, I'm not a fan of that story. But I think both girls are better than what they're getting. That's all. But yeah, so yeah, I think they'll do a little bit more of it, a little more adult stuff, but they still are a publicly traded company, and AEW is clearly not, as we saw in All Out. Well, we'll get into that. Let's stick with WWE for now. Berlin was an arena, not a stadium. It was much smaller than I thought. The crowd was crazy hyped for it. It reminded me of a London show when they would do like a Monday Night Raw in London once a year or once every couple of years. But a really great pay-per-view all in all. We'll go over the wins and losses. I know that Berlin happened in the past, so we'll go through it a little bit quickly. Rhea and Damian Priest took on Liv Morgan, the champ, put some respect on it, and Dominic. Don't call him Dirty Dom. That's mean and disrespect. He's misunderstood. He's a Latin lover. His name is Dominic Mysterio, and he's not only a legend, a living legend, but he's a good guy. He's misunderstood, Jeff, and I know you hate him. And you're supposed to hate him. But through all this pain and humiliation that he's gone through, I've learned to feel for the kid. I've learned to understand where his anger comes from. I don't agree with it, Jeff. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And I think the rest of y'all need to have a little more patience and understanding and let the man complete a sentence. Just one time.
He's a punk. Jeff. That's what this Dirty Dom is. He's just a dirty punk. He needs a haircut. He needs a clean shave. And he needs to rethink what he's doing because all these actions are going to come to roost. You'll see.
All right, haircut and mustache, I'm with you on. But rethink this other stuff. He had a girlfriend in Rhea Ripley and then had two girlfriends, and now has a girlfriend that's the champ. So he's making solid decisions, Jeff.
Those decisions, actually, I can't argue with. Those ones are pretty good.
See, we like Dominic now.
Pretty decisions.
The end of the match had a pin that was talked about so much that now every female wrestler in professional wrestling is doing the pretzel pin that Rhea Ripley put on Liv Morgan.
Smart.
And now everybody's talking about the finish of every women's match in the history of wrestling. I think it's hysterical. I think it's awesome. I like when people are just honest about what they see and why they like it. I don't like when girls get mad at guys for seeing a movie because the chick's hot. And I don't like when guys get mad at girls when they go to a movie just because the guys are hot. Like, let people enjoy hot
Makes
people.
Sense.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's how babies get made, y'all.
Yeah, that's the circle of life.
Here's another one where I was wrong, Jeff. That's the theme of today's show. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a leather strap match for the bracelet that everyone covets, the Larry bracelet. What is it, Larry? What does it say on it?
Yeah, Larry.
Larry
CJ.
You can tell how much I care about the bracelet.
AJ. What is it?
AJ. AJ's his lady. She's badass. Former guest, season 1 guest of the show, AJ.
Yeah.
So I picked this wrong. I don't know why I did, because I was just recency bias, and he beat Karrion Kross in a strap match. So I was like, maybe they're going to say that this is his kind of a match. But it's not. It's CM Punk's friggin' match, and he beat that ass, and he took the bracelet back, only to get beat down on Monday Night Raw. It's not over. He said, I'm going to fight Gunther because I'm about business. I'm back to business, CM Punk. I'm not personal CM Punk anymore. And Drew McIntyre ran out and said, yes, you are, you son of a bitch. Wapa! That's what it sounded like. And he ripped the bracelet off, and he snapped it, and he made him eat the beads. You want it so bad, you're going to eat it. You're going to eat the beads, and you'll have to get your stomach pumped in a hospital because beads are bad for you. So this rivalry is not over, which means somebody else is planned for Gunther. I'm assuming we're going to find that out tonight. We record these on Mondays, Jeff. What did you think of this match? What did you think of this story? It's not over yet, but more importantly, who do you want to see Gunther wrestle next? Or are you like me and completely clueless?
I am definitely clueless for sure. I don't have any leads for anybody, but I love it. I love this story. The eating the beads, it feels like a real PG, very children's version of the Danhausen. The Danhausen must be watching this going, oh, big deal. I make them eat teeth. Are you going to come at them with shiny, glossy little beads? That'll pass right through their system.
Danhausen pull for the win. I like it.
Yeah, come on. This is nothing beats. Plus, I don't understand. That's one of the little flaws I, for whatever reason, can't look over about this whole bracelet thing. Is like, yeah, just make another bracelet. Or like,
well, we're grown-ups.
I know, but it's also like, and you've said, Jeff, it's more than that. It's what it symbolizes.
It's what it represents.
You're 100% right. But in my mind, like when it breaks, I was like, yeah, big deal. What is that going to cost you? 35 more cents to make another one?
I've lost wedding rings in the ocean and stressed out less.
Exactly. That's my point. I'm going, let him have the bracelet. I'm a grown man. I'd be like, listen, my wife is beautiful and great and I love her. And my dog, it doesn't change anything with my relationship with my dog who's passed, you know.
He just gets home and the dog looks at him like, you son of a bitch. I don't see a bracelet around your wrist.
You don't love us anymore.
Bite you right in your butt cheek.
She's making him sleep on the couch. What happened in there? You know, get the bracelet back. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen.
Because it's not going to be Sami Zayn. I know they're giving him to him again, but this is a cool story to help I think Gunther's going to be champ for like evil John Cena amounts of time.
Yeah. Do you think they're just going to have him fight again, Randy Orton? Do you think it keeps going? Or
I don't think. No? I think they'll get Randy someone else. Sammy's next. He's made that clear, but he's not going to beat him for this title as well. Not this early. Gunther's going to have it for a while. So who the frig is next? Is it?
I don't know.
Do we just have paper challengers, so to speak, that push the story along until? Yeah, but he's not going to beat him until Seth Rollins comes back. I feel like no one beats him until Seth comes back. That's kind of where my
Sheamus is real jacked. He's going to get another push. You got the Ireland versus,
But they beefed during the Austria, Germany.
Yeah.
But they had beef during the IC Championship, and Gunther beat him. I remember that match. So I think if Sheamus does get a push, it's not a push to win it. The same way the Sammy one's not a push to win it. You can take that to the bank on the next pay-per-view or premium live event. When we make picks, I'm picking Gunther versus The Field until Seth Rollins comes back. But yeah, man, I don't know who's next, and I wonder how they're going to keep it exciting. Well, Sami Zayn's pretty money on the mic, so they'll keep it exciting. Never mind, I'm overthinking it. All right, dude. This was
whoever it is. We're gonna love it. We like
Gunther's the shit, man. His matches are awesome. That's the closest to an AEW match that you get is Gunther with the amount of chops that he puts on a brother's chest. Like it's full on.
I hate those chops.
I know.
I've always been an anti-chop guy.
I'm so pro chop. You're so anti-chop.
Yeah. I like. I'll talk about it actually later in the episode about my philosophy on those kind of things, and chops fits into that philosophy. But what I will say about Gunther, he might be the only wrestler that's getting better looking and more in shape. I feel like every month he's a little trimmer, a little stronger, a little more.
Yeah, he looks badass. I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Speaking of pretty cool, Friday Night SmackDown, LA Knight came out in this black and brown leather vest. Mm-hmm. That's the coolest vest in professional wrestling. I don't care what you bring any other vest. That it eats
D'Lo Brown.
It eats D'Lo Brown's vest for breakfast and is like, "Where's Stone Cold's? I'm still hungry." That's what LA Knight's vest says. It's cooler than what's this? Then Razor Ramon, then Scott Hall's vest. It's cooler than that. I'm telling you, dude. It had the superhero collar. It was undone. It had the brown straps on the black leather, and then on the back, just painted L.A. Come on, dude. That's the sickest. And I'm old school. I don't like anything new school. Nothing
I'm
new
Googling
school.
it right now.
Oh, it's the hottest vest in wrestling. It's brand new, so you got to see it from this week's Friday Night.
They sold vests for LA Knight too. He's in the vest merch game.
We're not jacked though. You can't sell a vest to guys that are skinny. If I had big ass python guns, I'd wear vests every day with no shirt. I'd wear it to auditions, bro.
I wear sleeveless shirts at the gym sometimes, but I don't know. A vest would be wild to wear that to the gym. I'm at Equinox with just the vest going to the treadmill. It'd be amazing.
But if you're jacked, dude, who's going to say something? Nobody.
Dude, I might do this just to see, just to get the picture to send to you boys.
Please do it. Please do it. Anyway,
I'm looking for the vest. I can't find it.
You look for the vest. I'll handle this part. We had the former tag team champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus the unholy union of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, the Scots, the Scottish Lasses. This was the most predictable match of the night. This one I actually got right, Jeff. It was a fantastic call by me and me alone, even though everyone else called it too. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the two most in-shape women in professional wrestling, are on the same team. They're their own twin towers, their own towers of power, their own terror twins. They're their own everything. They're badass, and I can't wait for Jade Cargill to turn on her ass and have it be badass on badass, total crime, and just kick the shit out of each other at a WrestleMania or wherever this takes place. I think they'll stick together until Jade sort of learns the ropes and can handle a long storytelling one-on-one type match. Remember, she's still so young in the game, so this is all learning for her. And once they feel she's learned, you're going to see a wedge in them in their tag team, and then you're going to see them break up, and they're going to have an awesome match, and I can't wait to see it, Jeff. Did you have enough time with that speech to see the vest and how hot it was?
Dude, the vest is strong.
Yeah,
the vest is making me listen to this. I did go through like a vest over my clothes phase, like where I'd like wear like a shirt with a vest.
Like the dudes on Friends, like the cast of Friends?
Like Han Solo.
Okay, more
Wars,
leathery.
You know, he'd
leathery.
wear like a long white shirt, but then a vest. And people would go, "What's with the vest?" And but it was like the suit kind, you know, like a suit vest. I was gonna try and like make it my thing, but I think wearing one of these might be the move, dude. It's so good.
His vest is hot, man. It's got that hot collar, the high collar. It's got the straps good over the shoulders. Come on, man.
Wait, so to go back to that tag match, I think Bianca and Jade, they're just such stars. But this was so predictable. I feel like, do you think those girls are going to spend the rest of their lives being like, you know, we were the tag champs, and people are going to be like, bull crap, you were the tag champs. And then they'll look back and be like, oh, they were tag champs for a month or two? Like they
try this out with tag teams all the time, though. There's so many tag teams that have short title runs if they don't get the right kind of heat, if they don't get the right kind of love. You know, they might break up. The Unholy Union, Isla Dawn seems to be the more charismatic of the two in the group, so then maybe she gets a singles push. Like, you never know how it's going to go. But I've seen tag team dudes and tag team chicks both get like the quick title run just to see what they got. Like they did it with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. They tried it with them to see, you know, if there was any magic there. And if that didn't work out, then they lose to the Colon brothers. They see which one of the Colones, Carlito or Primo, see which one of them has it. They don't, boom, they lose it to Biscuits and Gravy, which was Festus and Terry Gordy's son. I can't remember Terry Gordy's son's name. And they had, you know what I mean? So it makes the rounds like that. That's kind of what the tag team division is in WWE.
Well, because it wasn't that long ago, we were like really campaigning just for a women's tag titles. Like, oh, it'd be great if the women had a tag division. And now we have it. I guess I forgot that that's kind of a thing they do with championships just in general. But like it seems strange to have it on them for me.
And remember the WWE rule. A tag match is the most expensive match you can have because you have to pay 4 people for one match. So they don't like having to do that. That's why I've
never heard that.
That was the old philosophy when we first pitched a tag division, like a show just for tag teams. And Vince just like shitted out the room because he was like, that's the most expensive goddamn show I've ever heard of. And we're like, what? You don't pay these guys shit? What are you talking about?
What are you talking? Yeah, he's already cheap.
But no, they weren't having it. So they don't take the tag team division as seriously as AEW. AEW doesn't at all times take it seriously either, but they take it a little bit more seriously. All right, sir. We give Gunther lots of love. We're going to give him more. Randy Orton, Gunther, the sequel. The first one with such controversy with the shoulder up, but no controversy this time, sir. Gunther's the man. I called this as well. Got this one right. See, I didn't get everything wrong, but this was an easy match to pick as well. I think everybody knew that Randy was going to establish Gunther as the man for this generation. Randy's not a greedy guy. He's a super generous wrestler. He knows his age and his place and his experience in the business and what his job was in this, which is why I picked Gunther. But he won, and their matches are awesome. And I know you don't like the chops, but the Gunther chop is a mighty chop, sir. And it's a mighty chop indeed. And you have to like it when you see Gunther do it.
I don't like it. I never like it. I never have liked it. It's one of those things, you know, when they did this strap match, where they're just hitting the hell out of each other and the chops and the stretch. It's like I ask myself, what is it I do and don't like with these things? And it's like when it's a chair shot, like that one that Swerve got this week.
God, dude.
Like when it's a some sort of fun weapon, like a clearly plastic bat that looks like a black wooden bat from Sting. Or like, I like all those things for whatever reason when it feels like a brutal blood drawing weapon. Yeah. But when it's a slappy kind of like thing for whatever reason, like a chop or some sort of stingy kind of belt, then I go, I don't know why I don't like it. But that's the separation that is in my heart about it.
So I know I won't change your mind, but let me try to change your mind. You know that the stingy stuff hurts way more than the other stuff. You know that, right? Like the sledgehammer, Triple H has never hit anyone with a sledgehammer. He always goes to the gut, and it's always his hand that just daintily touches your skin because he doesn't hurt anybody out there.
But the stingy stuff, like
it hurts and it leaves marks.
It's gross. Like how many Daniel Bryan forever is going to have a weird chest because of his commitment to like these chops. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm way more impressed.
Vincent Van Gogh had a weird ear, but he was dedicated to his art, bro.
Yeah, I know. But like, I just think like, I'd rather watch a pretty pedestrian wrestling move, like a suplex or a sidewalk slam or some sort of press, than I would a chop from a hand.
Is that why I love AEW so much? Because it's Chop City?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
because every match has
a lot of chops.
Every match has at least like 25 chops. We should do an over/under for chops in AEW matches per episode. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna count them out. I'm gonna count them out on Wednesday's Dynamite when this show comes out. That night, I'm gonna count every single chop, and that's going to establish the over/under for the following episodes. And each week we'll do the over/under on chops.
Oh, I might need
help.
Idea.
I might need help with the counter. I might not be able to get it right every week. But I'll get it right at least once, and we'll have a baseline for chops. Because WWE is going to be like under 20.
Low. Yeah.
Under 20 for sure. But AEW, like, there's 20 a match.
Yeah. And it's very strange that they're so committed to these chops.
The Japanese style, man, it's more of a challenge. It's like, let's see who's tougher. I'm tougher. No, I'm tougher. No, I'm tougher. No, me. I love it. I love it so much.
The crowd gets really into it, too.
Yeah, I'm part of that. Undisputed WWE Championship, the most important match of the premium live event. So I'm not going to forget to go over this match, Jeff, and move on to our other shit. No, that's saved for Thursday's show. It was Cody Rhodes versus his bro, Kevin Owens. And I was wondering how they were going to make this match work, because it's weird when both guys like each other to care a lot. Like, you can respect the match, right? Like, oh man, the moves they did were so great. The choreography and timing was so precise. The strikes looked so great. It was like watching a movie. But if you don't have a reason why, that's as far as it goes. Respect. People want to know why, like, grown-ups love professional wrestling so much. It's the same reason grown-ups love soap operas. We want a reason why. We just want to see a reason why. Because in a fight scene, you know why John McClane is fighting. His wife's in the Nakatomi Tower, and there's terrorists that took over, even though they're not terrorists. They're really just common thieves trying to steal money. But he has a reason why. And so their reason why was, you deserve it. And Kevin Owens says, no, I don't. Now, the first rule in improv is you cannot reject a premise. So if I say, Jeff, what's it like being a race car driver? If you then hit me with, I'm not a race car driver.
And
yeah, like, you can't just end the whole thing. So I was very curious how they were going to pull this off. But Kevin Owens, and I'm not the one saying this, I've heard Sam Roberts say this, he's the only one that watches the product. And his character is the only one who watches the product. That's why he cuts promos off. That's why he ends interviews early and goes, everybody knows what's going to happen. We're just going to fight anyway. So I already went backstage. Like, he breaks that fourth wall like Ferris Bueller did. That's kind of one of the reasons why we love him. But he needed to be a bad guy in order to make this match mean something. And we saw seeds of it, but a lack of ability to commit all the way, which made me think that maybe Kevin Owens is about to become a bad guy again, which got me really, really, really excited because I love KO, but I hate the good guys. I really I root for the bad. I root for the killers in horror movies. Like I rooted for Iron Sheik versus Hulk Hogan. Like I thought it was cool what he could do with those bats. I was like, man, can't nobody do those bats? Like and he would always cheat and get away with it. And like the refs couldn't do anything to him. Like those guys are awesome. I love those guys. So
it's called Jason. It's not called Victim Number 4. They're the stars of the movie.
I love Freddy Krueger. So I hated when they got him. Anyway, there's a moment in the match where Cody's knee gets hurt, and the announcers were putting this over big time through the whole match, so you knew it was going to play a factor. I think they mentioned it like 3 or 4 different times during the match. Cody's knee got hurt on the tour. And his knee goes out, and he falls to the ground, and here comes Kevin Owens. Oh, no, I can't do it. I can't freaking do it. He's my friend. I'm not going to attack his I want him at 100%. I want him at his best. Damn it. Son of a bitch. And you see him struggle with it. They go outside the ring. And once again, he's, I can't do it. Damn it. I'm going to beat you up straight up, but I'm not going to attack your leg. And of course, that's the fatal mistake. As Wade Barrett said, this match should have already been over. You should have already won, but you didn't commit. And I know I'm talking a lot about this and not much about the match itself or what it meant, because I feel the match itself wasn't even about a championship. Everybody knew Cody was going to win. The match was to plant a seed, which all their stories are now seeds, long-term stories, of Kevin Owens turning heel and becoming a bad guy. And if you also noticed on Friday Night SmackDown, he did not run out and help Cody when the Bloodline went out there. That was the Street Profits with B-Fab. And B-Fab's looking right, by the way. She's the best valet in the game right now, man. She comes out there and just the ultimate high. Like Prince Nana is the best on the male side, but he's more a manager. She's more a valet.
Yeah.
But she can get hyped. And when she yells, no, like when her guys are losing, you can hear her louder than the friggin' crowd, dude. It's wild. But anyway, he didn't come out to help him. It was those other 2 teams. So I think this is the beginning of a little seed that's going to get planted, and we're going to see Kevin Owens turn heel. And I just feel sorry for whoever the good guys are, because he's going to go on a really long win streak if he does. You lose a lot more when you're a good guy, unless you're the champ. What'd you think about the match? And what do you think about my theory that he's about to turn evil?
I put him in the category of like a Becky Lynch or a Stone Cold Steve Austin, where like, he's kind of always just Kevin Owens, and sometimes he's chippy and sometimes he's not. Like it doesn't deviate much when he's the bad guy or the good guy. Like he's kind of like, in my opinion, at least, like I love KO. I think he's the most underrated guy. His mic work is, I would say, like back when Bray Wyatt was still with us, I would always go to, like, KO and Bray Wyatt were the 2 like smartest wrestling brains with the best sensibilities.
Such different promos too. Such different promos, but equally
so
great.
Good though. Like so good and so smart. He just knows he just has great wrestling sensibilities. He's the MJF, if you will, of WWE when it comes to those kind of things. But long story short, I love Kevin Owens. I like what they're doing with him. I think if they make him bad of that, I'm all for that too. But I think Kevin Owens is probably my favorite in WWE out of everybody still.
Yeah, he's the friggin' man, dude. I don't know him, but we've had like a couple conversations like through email or through Instagram and things like that. And he just comes off the nicest guy. I don't even know if I should say this, but he made a video for my kid, and like the things he remembered that I told him that he just added into the video was basically like a promo. I was just so thankful and grateful for. I was like, dude, like he just went above and beyond. I had done a video for him that he had asked for, and he returned the favor. That's all it was. And it was just us being nice and polite to one another. But he couldn't have been nicer to my freaking kids. And even remembered a Bobby Lashley thing he was like, don't like Bobby Lashley. It hurts me when he wrestles. You shouldn't root for him. You should root for me. And I just thought that was so cool, because that's my daughter's favorite wrestler is Bobby.
I just wish he was a guy that they would put the belt on. Like, I wish they make him a bigger part of the championship conversation.
I think
they can do that.
I think everyone agrees with you on that. I've been like the only holdout on that, because I've always felt that he doesn't need a belt to be over. I've always felt that. Like he's
But why
bigger.
punish him? Give him a belt.
Sure. And he's had them in the past, and he's been a great champion when he's had the championship. This may be, I don't like hot takes, but maybe this is a hot take. There are certain wrestlers that I feel are bigger than the belt, and he's one of them. Like if you don't need the belt, you're bigger than it. And I genuinely feel that way about Kevin Owens. All right, you guys.
I love it.
You didn't talk any trash to us this week outside of social media, so I have no reviews to read in a sweet voice or my own voice, which isn't so sweet. But insult or kindness, leave us a review. I will read it to you. If you leave mean ones, I'll still read it, but Jeff will cut a promo on you. He does not take kindly to you guys being mean to me. But I'll be nice, so you get the balance. You get equanimity, the word of the day. Stay tuned for Unsanctioned Thursday as we're going to go over AEW's All Out and everything else AEW. On behalf of Mr. Jeff Dye, welcome back, sir. I'm Freddie Prinze Jr., and this is Wrestling with Freddie. Peace.
This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.